Welcome to the class. Let's talk about classification of companies. Various companies are named under Indian Companies Act 2013 and Section 2 in various subsections generally has defined many type of companies. So in this video we are going to get introduced into the classification of companies. Okay, let's see. Basically, companies are divided into three. Let's see. Chartered companies are companies which are established under a royal charter issued by the head of the state. In India, they are treated as foreign companies as we don't have chartered companies. Okay. Then the next is statutory companies. These are formed under a special statute passed either by the parliament or by the state legislature. These are generally public undertakings and formed with main object of social need and not for profit. Such companies do not have memorandum of association or articles of association. The provisions of Companies Act shall apply so long as they are consistent with the Special Act. For example, Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, Life Insurance Corporation, etc. They are formed under special legislations like LIC is formed under Life Insurance Corporation of India Act. RBI is formed under Reserve Bank of India Act. Okay? Yeah. Now comes registered companies. These type of companies are the most popular ones. Okay, these are companies which are registered under Companies Act. Okay, now let's see. Registered companies are classified into many other categories. Let's see first public company, private company and one person company. Okay, Section 2, subsection 71 defines public company as a company which is not a private company and whose minimum number of members are 7 and maximum is unlimited. Okay, now let's see what is a private company. Under Section 2, subsection 68, a private company is a company in which number of members minimum is 2 and maximum is 200. And a private company restricts transfer of shares. It also restricts invitation to the public for subscription. So in simple terms, a private company is a company in which minimum number of members is 2, maximum is 200. It cannot invite public deposits and its transferability of shares are also restricted. Okay. Now comes one person company. As the name indicates, under Section 2, subsection 62, a one person company is a company in which there is only one member. That one member must be a natural person, okay, a resident in India, and with one member also, and this is a new addition in 2013 Companies Act, which made possible that even one person can register. With one person, you can register a company, and for all other matters, except for this number of membership, one person company will be treated as a private company. Okay. Now, what is the other kind of classifications? Now, a small company is defined under Section 285, which says that a company which does not have a share capital exceeding 50 lakh rupees or a turnover which is less than 2 crores rupees. Okay, so such a company is defined as a small company under Section 285. Now, dormant company. A dormant company is basically is an asset shielding concept. This is a company in which there is no significant accounting transaction for last 2 years. So you can get the status of a dormant company. Generally, dormant companies are made and formed and registered for the purpose of asset shielding or keeping intellectual properties, etc. So dormant companies are also, like other companies, will have the requirement of membership, will have the requirement of meetings, directors, etc. But it will not have any significant financial transactions, and generally they are formed for keeping intellectual properties. Okay. Then, a foreign company. According to the Act, a foreign company is a company which is not registered in India but has a place of business here and has actual business taking place. Okay. Then, an Indian company is a company which is registered in India and having a place of business in India. Okay. Then, producer company. The concept of producer company is that of 1956 Companies Act. Though 2013 Act is silent about it, 2002 amendments in Companies Act has brought out this concept of producer company, and that is kept as it is though 2013 Act does not specifically talk about it. The legal status of producer companies remain to be the same as that of 2002 amendment of Companies Act 1956. Basically, this is a concept introduced to protect these cooperative societies. Basically, agricultural cooperative societies, they can combine to form a company and they can get the benefits of company form of organization. This is the concept behind it. So in a producer company, minimum 10 members should be there and all of them should be some way or the other connected to or doing some activities related to production. Here production refers to something related to primary produce of agriculture or farming. Okay, and they can be cooperative societies as well. Okay. Now next, limited companies, unlimited companies, companies limited by shares and companies limited by guarantee. So basic division is companies having limited liability, companies having unlimited liability. Now companies having unlimited liability, from the very name itself it is clear that the members liability is unlimited. And in limited liability companies, members liability is limited. But how it is limited? It can be limited by shares if the company is having a share capital. It can be limited by guarantee, but companies where members liability is limited by guarantee can be companies with share capital or without share capital. Okay, so if it is limited by shares, the liability of the member is limited to the face value of the share, with the value which is remaining unpaid is the liability of the member. If it is limited by guarantee, the liability of the member is limited to the amount which they have agreed to contribute. Okay, now there are government companies. A government company is a company in which 51% of the shares are held either by state government or central government, or two state governments together, or central government and state government together. That means the government has control over the management and decisions of the company. There are so many exceptions under Companies Act for government companies. For example, government companies need not write private limited or limited at the end of their name. There are so many other exceptions. I just gave you one example. Okay, now associate company. Associate company is newly introduced by the 2013 Companies Act, which says that a company in which another company is having some influence or control, but this company is not a subsidiary of the other company. So generally now 2017 amendment has made it clear that this influence can be 20% of shareholding. That other company is having 20% of the shares in this associate company, or some other form of control which the company agreed by an agreement or as a part of being a joint venture. One company is allowing another company to have a say or a voice in its decision making. Such companies are known as associate companies. Okay, foreign company we already discussed. Next is holding and subsidiary company. As it is very clear, a holding company is a company which is having majority shares in another company, and therefore it is having a stake in the decision making as well. As subsidiary company, it will be controlled by the holding company, because holding company will be the majority shareholder. Okay, yeah. So these are various classifications of companies under Companies Act 2013. With another topic, we'll see again. Till then, bye.